All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome
Hi.
back to another Chroma Awards live stream. And before we start, still a little announcement. The submissions are open now all the way till November 3rd, and all the free trials are still available for redemption on our website. And we are streaming regularly throughout the whole competition on Monday, 7 p.m., and also Wednesday, 12 p.m., which is this time. And we'll be answering all your questions and hosting conversations with our amazing sponsors and creators in this AI space. And today we have three guests. First, we have Sync.so, the world's most natural lip sync tool. Let's say hi to Kalyan and Party. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. And then we're joined by Noah from EchoBand, our AI creator for this episode, and also definitely our co-host Maddie. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Okay, so first we are going to start with sync.so. So Noah, I'm gonna put you in the background, okay? And we'll get
Good.
back to you later. All right, so Prati, do you have something exciting to show us today?
I hope so.
It's definitely going to be. Yeah, yeah. And definitely before we start, that's you do a little introduction about like uh what are you guys doing, like what the tools can do.
Sure. We are Sync. I am Prati. I am the CEO and one of the co-founders here. I hope most of you know this already, but we train state-of-the-art lip syncing tools. So we actually started on this journey of mastering lip sync. The company's about 2 years old, but we started working on the research almost 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh wow.
We are the original team behind Wave to Lip, if you guys are familiar with that.
Hmm. Yep.
Now, over the last 2 years, we have a couple of we have a couple of core principles that we follow. So one, we believe that humans are the center of the best stories. Video generation is world modeling, but every human is a world unto themselves. Like we all have our idiosyncrasies. Like we have the things that make us very unique that are very important to capture. If you can't capture these things and you can't express these things in video, then we're really never going to be able to tell these really compelling stories with people. And three, I think this is one that we really strongly believe. The things that look like toys today and the prosumers of today are going to be the professionals of tomorrow, and they're the professional tools of tomorrow. And these things are
Mhm.
just going to improve like they're going to improve very quickly, and they're going to improve a lot faster than we think. And I think we've seen that over last year.
Yeah, it's so fast. Every week there's a new update. Every week, every company is throwing out new things. That's kind of crazy.
It's really awesome to have you here because I think you look at like the community on like our Discord community, a lot of people have questions about lip sync and it's really important for storytelling, having characters where you actually believe that they're saying the words that are coming out of their mouths. So
Mm.
really excited to see uh the model that you guys have.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hmm.
Um, I'm happy to jump into a demo or however you guys want to run this.
Yes, let's jump in demo. If you can share that screen, I can bring it up right away.
Cool.
Yeah. And if anyone in the audience has questions, feel free to type them in.
Oh yeah. Okay, let me see. Let me see. There you
All
go.
right.
Yes.
I am going to start with just one quick example. So when we started this almost 2 years ago, I would always have to explain why lip sync why it was such an important problem to solve for. I don't think I have that problem today anymore. Everyone is looking, they're creating these incredible stories and they come to the same issue, which is if I actually can't make a human act in the way that I want them to act, in a way where we have thousands of millions of years of evolution that have trained our eyes to see what is uncanny and what is not. And if our tools don't actually allow us to to create the stories and the characters that we want, then whatever we end up creating falls flat, and it can never really take. We can never like really move beyond like elevate the craft to the level that we wanted to. Now, this is the core focus that we've had, especially in the last couple of model iterations, is how do we really break beyond this uncanny valley, and how do we break beyond the uncanny valley for not just 720p like really low resolution video, but how can we do it at 4K? How can we do it at a grade that's actually ready for studio adoption? We released LipSync 2 Pro, which is our first, we call it our first like studio grade lip syncing model about 3 weeks ago now. And I'll show you a quick demo of how that works.
Okay.
This is a video, this is Emma Stone, and I'll just play the original real quick.
From Birdman,
We're
right?
doing a play based on a book
Yeah.
that was written 60 years ago for 1,000 rich old white people whose only real concern is going to be where they go to have their cake and coffee when it's over. Nobody gives a shit but you. And let's face it, Dad, you are not doing this for the sake of art. You are doing this because you want to feel.
So in this scene, Emma is giving this very passionate, there's a lot of emotion. There's a very unique style of how she's actually acting and delivering these lines that actually brings this whole scene alive. And that's why we feel that it's actually so impactful. Now, this audio is I'm going to play it real quick, but this is the original Spanish dub. And you can listen to it here.
Una obra basada en un libro que fue escrito hace 60 años para 1,000 viejos ricos blancos cuya única preocupación real va a ser dónde irán a tomar su pastel y café cuando termine.
Okay, so this
So
is
how
the
our-
original.
Yes, this is the original Spanish dub that's, it plays on Netflix today.
Okay.
For our tool, how it works, you just pick the model that you want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick LipSync 2 Pro. You hit lip sync. And this is about like an 18-second clip. You can see it took about just under 3 minutes for us to go and generate. Our inference times they're getting faster and faster. So hopefully that'll become closer to real time soon. But this is the result.
Mhm.
Están haciendo una obra basada en un libro que fue escrito hace 60 años para 1,000 viejos ricos blancos cuya única preocupación real va a ser dónde irán a tomar su pastel y café cuando termine. A nadie le importa más que a ti. Y seamos sinceros, papá, no estás haciendo esto por el arte, lo haces porque quieres sentirte relevante otra vez. Bueno,
Wow.
That's so fast.
Oh, wow. And the mouth movement and everything. Wow.
Yeah, if you want to
The,
share that link with us, I'll put it into our chat and we'll share it with the audience so they can see like without any sort of lag.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Maddie, would you get that to YouTube? Okay. Okay.
So I'm glad you're impressed. This is like the real key here is when there's a lot of lip syncing models, what they'll do is they will take they learn this like representation between like the shape of the mouth that we make and then the core unit of sound that we make, and they generalize this across basically all different speakers. Now the problem with that is I say something different in my own style, and I say it very differently than how you might say it.
Yeah.
So that's where you can't actually use a lot of these lip syncing tools on real world video today and capture the original style of the speaker. That was a core problem that we set out to go and solve. So that's actually what you're seeing is we learn her actually unique, like her acting style from this video, a very small context of video, and we can regenerate in a way where how we imagine her to be speaking in Spanish. And this is unique for every character that we can edit.
Just a very small amount of what she said, and you can generate the whole thing. Wow.
Just under a second of video, actually.
Wow.
We have a question from the audience. So how does it work with the character who has like some flaws in their face, maybe broken teeth or different like specific character traits like that?
Yeah, so we preserve all the detail, like the identity details of the character, especially with LipSync 2 Pro. So we will regenerate in their style, but we'll also preserve all those unique characteristics. So that's like the unique teeth, that is like freckles, that's also things like beards, like other edge cases like that. Let's see if I have an example.
Amazing.
It's also, I mean, it works across like live action. It works across like animated characters. So the 3D style actually works really well with us. We're working on things more like 2D animation style as well, but the whole idea is like we're human centric. So if it's a character that resembles a human in their, like, we can't exactly do robots today, but we can do like primates. We can do any type of like Pixar style character.
Mm. So can you play a little demo of this?
Let's see.
Sync is the best tool on the market to lip sync any video. Like this one. I could be a man, woman, child, and you wouldn't even see a difference.
Wow. And the
Just things we're playing around with.
Yeah. I'm actually curious about the 2D one. If there is a example that we can take a look. Just curious if they're like a 2D one.
We don't have, so 2D doesn't work super well today. That is what
Gotcha.
we're solving for next. Yes.
Gotcha. But for human,
for human characters, it works really well. Also, I mean, this is like a natural video. So this is, I mean, Dr. Peterson, he's just walking around
para
giving a
seres
lecture.
como nosotros. Y existen estos viejos clichés de cómics de personas subiendo una montaña para ver a un gurú que está sentado en la cima, a menudo en la posición de loto, compartiendo sabiduría, y eso también está asociado con la antigua idea egipcia y mesopotámica.
So you can see we handle like scene changes quite well. He is like the camera angle and also the distance is also like it changes and it varies, but either way, like we actually track the face and we can regenerate only that part of the video very well through the whole, like through more complex scenes than just like, you know, looking directly into a camera.
De la atención. Y así ves que en Egipto había un dios Horus que estaba simbolizado por el ojo y también por el halcón. Los halcones.
Wow. So even with this kind of shot, you can also like the AI also detects like the shape of his mouth and replace it, kind of, right?
Exactly. Yep.
That's really cool. I'm just curious, like right now, can it only do like one character on the screen? If there are two like speaking roles on the frame, is that like something next step?
So we do have two ways of handling that today. We have something to release soon that'll actually take this a step further. But what we do is we'll detect. So if you flip this on, where you say lip sync only active speaker, we will detect if there's multiple people in a scene. We will detect who is the active speaker and only target that person automatically.
I see. Gotcha.
The step after this, which I hope we will release very soon, is you just pick the person that you want to edit. And that's the game. That's exactly what we're building now.
But does it like you have to do it like twice? Like maybe for the same video, you do a character first and then you come back and do another character.
Yeah, you can think of it as you would apply, if you have two characters where you want to apply a dialogue to and they both have different things that they're saying, you can think of that as just like two edits on the same video.
Gotcha. And for the languages, right now, how many languages do you guys support? Because what we saw in the demo, like they're turning English into Spanish, right? Like how many languages that can be used right now?
We are theoretically language agnostic. Now in practice, that works where like all European languages, most East Asian languages work. We learned this like primitive that is every person has to make the same shape with their mouth in order to make a sound.
Yeah.
So that's actually a principle that holds true for the vast majority of languages. Now where it does fall apart is like some more like African or tonal languages, which is just it is different and we can't exactly handle those today, but hopefully that's something that with just more data we can solve.
I believe so. If there's more data, then it's probably. And other than this, like, do you guys have other like features you wanna show the audience as well, or some sneak peek for the like the next thing you're gonna release?
Sure. So I'll explain this. Like we're known best for our lip syncing tools. What we're focused on is, you can think of it as it's a different type of video editing. So the idea is we mask a portion of the video out, and like generative video editing is just getting started now, but this is the core concept. You mask a certain portion of this video out. You ask the model to replace it for like over time, and you give certain conditions to it. So today our conditions are audio, and then 2 is this style representation that we've learned from the video. Now we improve our models in 2 ways, and this is how you can think of what's happening next. So 1 is fidelity. So the accuracy, the like how well we can actually produce the dialogue and edit the dialogue, and like what level of video can we edit. So like for example, what professional formats can we work on? 4K video? Can we work on ProRes? Can we do 422? Can we do 444? Can we do HDR? Like those types of things are things that we're working on. But the second piece is if we can expand the mask, like if we can expand the actual portion of the video that we mask out and then ask the model to regenerate, we now unlock a lot of very new interesting capabilities. Now, example of this is today we mask out like this portion of the video, and we regenerate their speech. Like we edit exactly what they're going to say.
Yep.
The next step is, what happens when we can effectively mask out the entire face? So
facial expressions. Wow.
Exactly. And that principle holds. Like, what happens when you can mask out this whole portion of the video? Like, can we give very free form? Can we give control over how the person is actually delivering this line? Like how they're moving their head, how they change their eyebrows, how they deliver a line in any language, whether it's for dubbing or whether it's for just exploring different takes for a character. The way I like to think of it, well, I'll show you this example. So this is a new model.
Hold on 1 sec. Let me bring the screen back up again. Okay, now we have it.
Perfect. So this is an example. I mean, this is straight from our research cluster. So this is not something that's in production today, but we'll have to get it out very soon. I'll show you this original.
Always, let's mind meld. Let's get together. Let's work weekends. Let's spend time together, because you can't replace.
Short clip. Now, what happens when you can explore different dialogue and different delivery of dialogue in post-production?
I am so happy right now, I could scream and shout. I want everyone to know how happy I am. I wish I had someone.
So in that example, we changed to, that was a very happy, like ecstatic delivery. And now you can see the opposite.
Who loved me for who I am. Everybody just hates me. Always, let's mind meld.
Ah.
So what you just saw was just full facial reenactment, like facial replacement, facial reenactment.
Wow.
Is it voice cloning as well?
At the same time?
We use a partner for voice cloning. So you can choose which partner we use. I mean, today it's either 11 Labs or Cartesia.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. I mean, wow. I mean, looking at this, I can't trust the videos online anymore. What they're saying, that's wow. The whole performance are getting changed. Yeah, not just voice-wise, but also the whole facial expression.
Is that done through prompting?
Yes. So you will have control. So there's 2 ways. So one is we will learn it from the audio. So the audio is very happy and ecstatic. Then that will guide the model to make by default, that will guide the model to make very happy expressions. There is a prompt as well, so you can control it even further. Like, now this is something you got to play around with. The way that I think about this is, like, this is the experience I want to give a user. Imagine that you are Like you are James Cameron, like you are Martin Scorsese, you are sitting in the director's chair, you're watching an actor perform on stage or like on screen on set. And what you're doing is you're just taking multiple takes and you're just describing to them, you're giving them acting notes. I want you to say this line with more umph. I want you to really feel the impact at this point, and I want you to cry. I want you to show more expression. I want you to be angry, or like get really angry, like do really crazy things, right? So imagine you are in the director's chair and you get to direct these characters on screen in exactly the way that you want, and you can explore multiple variations and takes.
Yeah. I'm curious, for example, what we just saw, what's the prompt? Because you kind of mentioned there were two ways of like prompting this. Like, is it one just through text? What about the other way?
Well, so these are both through text. So for this prompt, it's actually very simple. It was just like be extremely excited when you say this line. And for the second one, it was actually we're just trying to make him cry. So like feel very sad and cry while you deliver this line.
I see. Can you also generate tears? Can we get some AI tears? Just
We actually, in a couple of generations, we did start to see. This is not something that we've tried to do. It's like an emergent behavior, but we actually did generate some tears in some of
got
these.
you. Just curious.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, this is really, really groundbreaking. I'm just starting to see like all the user cases for this, like all the different user cases for this. That's really cool. And when are you guys kind of planning on releasing this? Is it anytime soon or?
This will be available. This new model, I can't tell you the code name for it yet either, but it will be available to our CPPs within the next few weeks.
Oh yeah.
And then we'll be rolling out from there.
Okay. And since we touch on that topic, do you want to talk to us and the audience about how the CPP going to work with you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So we launched our CPP just a couple of months ago, and what we're doing is it's been great. We love to see the things that people are making with us. It's actually really exciting for us to see. I mean, people making this in the real world and then sharing on socials and then tagging us saying, "Hey, I made this. Hey, I made this." One is very gratifying to us because we've been working on this for a very long time. So it's great to see that a lot of people are really taking a lot of value in this. And two, our CPP, I would love, like the biggest helpful thing that people do for us is to just like test the edge cases. Like even Noah actually, who's going to talk later, it was really great hearing feedback from him very early on, because that helps us design, like actually iterate on the models and get exactly what we want out of it. So how our CPP works, you can just apply. So we have a link. I think we can share the link in the chat. And
Yes.
like you get a bunch of credits, and then you get invited to just like a special channel in our Discord community, and we just go nuts. Like we just play around as much as we can. That's about it.
So for the CPP link, Maddie, do we have that we can send it to the chat for everybody?
Yeah, once I get that, I'll share it.
Perfect.
I'm curious, like, is there anything that comes to mind in terms of like something surprising or fun that you saw from the CPP or from one of your CPP members create?
We have been seeing, especially the last couple of weeks, we've seen a bunch of people making these ads that are just going crazy viral. And they were going viral on Instagram, they're going viral on Twitter, they're actually going viral on LinkedIn. There's a lot of folks that are producing things on LinkedIn. I think that's a very interesting channel that people are using right now. And it's great to see people saying, I made this with Sync and X, Y, and Z. Like it's great to see us right up there with everyone else. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Oh, at the same time, if you want to try Sync, you can now go to chromaworks.com and you will still find their 1 month free trial available over there. Well, just quickly grab it before it runs out. Yeah. So if anyone in the chat, just go and play with by yourself. Yeah. And okay, let me see. I think before we wrap up, we kind of already touched on this, but like, what are the any like upcoming features that's really exciting that you guys are kind of like can give us a little sneak peek?
Well, I mean, for us, I think the new models are always the most exciting thing, but there's many things around them in the tool that actually are like, those are like, in order to make this a lot more useful for a lot of people in a lot of different workflows, we have to make it, one, very easy to use, intuitive to use, and then expand the types of videos that we can work on. So for one example, we've been doing, like, for the dubbing use case, we've been doing 45-minute long TV shows. Like, people are doing entire lectures with us, and it's not, we don't have a limitation really on the length of video, and that's something that we started from day one. We've always wanted to make sure that we can work on all real world use cases. So this is like TV shows, movies, even short movies that are 12 minutes long are really hard to actually go and produce right now. And we want to make sure that that's not really, there just shouldn't be a limitation in the tools to let you, like, to stop you from doing that. We are working on things like really good like speaker selection, so like choosing a person in the video. We're working on other things like how do we actually work on, like, how do we preserve 10-bit video with like 10, and I mean, if we want to get this to work at the highest level, we have to be able to do that. And I think a lot of people are pretty excited about that as well. Yeah, there's a million things. I wish I could just talk about everything.
But there's already a lot that to anticipate. Yeah, they already sound exciting. Like even 45 minutes for education video or something, like 45 minutes, that's a long time. And
It is.
yeah, and I'm just curious, like how long does it take if you want to do a whole video that's like the length is 45 minutes? How long does it take?
I mean, it'll take you a couple of hours. The good thing is, since we do operate scene by scene, we are like, we can parallelize these things, and that's why we can do full lectures, we can do full movies, we can do full TV shows. It's, even if it's 45 minutes, you'll get the turnaround in around 3 to 4 hours, but also working and getting that faster. So
I see. Yeah, okay. Before we wrap it up, is there any questions in the chat that didn't get answered? Mehdi, I'm just curious. Or did we
I
go
think
through
we
them all?
covered it all. So how can people get connected with you? You said there's Discord. They can apply for the CPP. Other ways that they can stay in touch with what's going on with Sync?
Yeah, like a
I
Discord
think
channel, Twitter.
yeah, Twitter's great. That's where we really solve our updates. SyncLabs_SO, and yeah, just join Discord. I think that's two best places for sure.
Okay.
Awesome.
And we will also definitely share those in our Discord channel as well. Yes.
Cool.
All right. So thank you guys once again for being here with us and with this amazing, amazing demo. So I'm going to bring up our next guest, Noah. And so thank you, Pardees. Thank you, Kellyan. Feel free to stay
Thanks,
to say hi
guys.
to the friends that you work with, right? I believe today's setup is a very interesting one. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So Noah, do you want to do a little introduction first?
Sure. Yeah. Thanks for having me. And this is a very appropriate pairing. We were chatting before because I love Sync. It's been kind of my most integral tools for several months now, ever since we met at AI on the Lot. So definitely keep your eyes peeled on what Sync's coming out with, because it's truly one of my favorite tools.
Mm-hmm.
As far as myself, I'm a director and a writer. I come from a traditional filmmaking background. I've been in the industry for about 20 years now, which is a large number to hear myself say. I got my start working at HBO, kind of doing trailers and promos behind the scenes, working across things like Westworld, Game of Thrones, Ballers, Silicon Valley, all a bunch of like big pay-per-view boxing matches, documentaries. I went to NYU for film before that. But then nights and weekends, I was kind of focused on directing and editing and things like that. And then I'm now, in addition to being an independent filmmaker, working increasingly in the AI space, which I know we'll get into more deeply. I'm also the EP of AI and innovation here at Echo Bend. Echo Bend Pictures is a full-service creative agency, production company, post-production company. We do music, we do sound, kind of everything across music videos, features, commercials, all of that. But I'm sure we'll get into all the details.
Yeah.
And Echo Bend has been a close friend for us for a while, and you're one of our community partners for this season of the Chroma Awards, which is really exciting.
That's right. I mean, it just sort of feels like AI is such an empowering tool, and it just kind of, unlike I think a lot of AI companies, we're not an AI company. We don't brand ourselves that way. It's just another tool in the toolbox. I feel that way as a filmmaker as well. Like it's just been so empowering to sort of unlock a lot of ideas that have been rattling around in my brain, but I just haven't had the resources to do. And now I can kind of put some things on their feet, and it's very satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yours is like, it's not a new AI studio that kind of came out of the last year. Like you guys have been around for a while doing music videos, commercials, people
Not that long. We're only 4.5 years old. We came out of the pandemic. It sort of was like a really nice in parallel.
Mm.
Oh, crazy! Because I've seen your ads and stuff on YouTube, so it's crazy how much you've grown in the past few years.
Mm-hmm.
And also another shout out to Machine Cinema too, if anyone's familiar with that, which is how I think we all have come to know each other. Where they do like kind of Gen Jams. It's kind of like the best community for AI to get your feet wet and like know what's going on. It's the pulse for sure.
Yeah, and earlier today they're doing another like weekly call with some other guests. That's amazing as well.
We've hosted a number of them at our offices, which is why I bring them up.
Yeah. All right. So now we have 2 videos to show. One is from Echo Bend, and another one is AI short that's created by Noah. So we're gonna watch them, and we'll get back to our dialogue. All right, let's enjoy the video.
When I get home, I want you.
Are you interested in my body?
When I get home,
Wash.
I want you.
Sydney Sweeney, body wash genie?
Hello, I got places to be.
It's the whore!
Hello, I got places to be. Pretty brown, got me weak in the knees. Slow up, yo, hold me
Nothing
down.
bad is happening here. Give me your hand!
Experience sophistication. I declare someone.
We're the 5, no fries with that fake disguise. Golden arches can't compete, they're just supersized. Popeyes got spice, but where's the soul? We're grilling real beef, y'all just deep fried holes. Flipping patties, stacking dreams, no clown shoes, no fake schemes. 5 guys, 5 stars, no lies, real meat, no cluck, no cries. We're the flavor, no need for tries. 5 guys forever, we rise.
All right, explain to me what did I just watch?
That's perfect reaction. So a few I want to say maybe a month or so ago, there was this, Popeyes kind of started it with an AI rap battle at McDonald's because they're re-releasing the snack wrap. And so they're like, we're going to do a rap battle. And so they came out with this diss track. And then McDonald's there was one by another artist that was back with McDonald's back at Popeyes. And I thought to myself, and a lot of AI filmmakers are getting involved. And I thought to myself that it'd be funny to come in with like a brand that people aren't thinking about as top of mind. And then as I was kind of going over the list of that, it just kind of clicked for me that there's a really missed opportunity that Five Guys could be a pretty homoerotic boy band. So that's what this was.
Yeah, I love that. It's literally Five Guys.
Five Guys.
Boy band.
Five Guys. Yeah.
I think that was King Wilonius who did the McDonald's video, right?
Yep. And then PJ Ace and Theo Dudley did the original Popeyes one.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well, I love this culture. Like you said, like all the AI artists kind of just hop on and started to like a reply to another video or something. That's a fun culture.
Yeah, something I think I realized in doing that is how, like, especially in we're such like a niched culture at this point. We all have things that we're really in these small communities that we know a lot of details about, but we're fragmented as a result. And brands are like one of the few things that kind of are sort of a shared vocabulary and a shared culture. And so everyone knows what a diss track is and a rap battle. Music's another thing that brings us all together. And I think the reason that this worked well is that everyone knows all of these fast food brands because we're all come into contact with them in some way. And so we could all kind of contribute our own artistic take on a brand that we all know and love. And so we can all kind of laugh along with it.
Yeah, did you reach out to Five Guys? Like, did they?
I did.
Response?
They are famously neutral about everything. I think that's actually part of their charm. It's brown. It's aluminum foil and brown paper bags and things like that. So I think it's fitting that they did not repost this.
Oh my! Oh, that's amazing. That's really amazing.
But Popeyes liked it, so that was there's that.
Yeah. Okay, so now we do have some questions for you.
Sure.
So first one, well, you come in as a traditional award-winning director and writer and a filmmaker. And how has your experience been when AI comes to, like when AI comes into your workflow? Like now you're doing project that started to have like AI involved. How's your experience with that, and how do you feel?
I felt super empowered by it, honestly. I think, as I was saying before, there's just a lot of ideas that I've been working on that I know deep down, like something that some kernel about it is really true to me. And I think if it feels true to me, it'll feel true to someone else. But the resources to accomplish those things is just too steep. And so they just stay here, or some shell of itself kind of makes it out, but it doesn't have the same impact. And I think we all, as creators, have like different frictions that we run into just in our creative process. And so a lot of these tools have allowed me to sort of, and this is everything from LLMs all the way through, video generators, audio generators, things like that, have sort of made it just more seamless for me to get an idea from my brain onto the screen. And, at the end of the day, the other important thing too, I find, is we can't lose, the tech is not the story. We have humans on one end making something to have an idea go across the internet to another human on the other side. And so I try to really focus on, story and writing and like a lot of these fundamentals. That's another thing I wanted to touch on, is like everything I learned in film school and all of the lessons I've learned in traditional filmmaking have 100% applied here. I've just been taking a little bit of rethinking about like, I learned this a long time ago, but this is like a fundamental that applies with AI filmmaking too. Story is king. How edits can work, just how to get your ideas across in this, audiovisual medium.
So I kind of want to dive a little deeper into that as well. So like during pre-production, what kind of new tools or new workflows are you implementing into yours?
I'm not sure how new any of it is, just the tools are new. And I suspect that there's a lot in common with animation pipelines. I've been talking to a lot of animation houses just about the frictions they run into, both with client work and just on like, narrative stuff in general, because I think there's a lot in common there. The first thing is you have to have a great story. And that, that comes from up here. You can obviously use AI to help support that. I do that all the time. But I think it's still a team effort, and human led. And then once you have a great story, I like to do a bunch of look dev to figure out my characters and figure out my environment and my aesthetics, and do some tests to make sure that the tools right now can support that. And I am pretty stubborn about once I get an idea that I like. So my other big mantra, I think Plato said this, but necessity is the mother of invention. I feel that's true about everything with regards to AI. Every single project I've ever been asked to do in the AI space, I don't think you go in knowing exactly how to do it, but you know that it can be done. And then you go in and you solve it. And then you can add that workflow to your quiver, and you apply it in the future. And so I think it's sort of hacked a little bit because of how many different brains are kind of coming to the AI space right now, not just from traditional filmmaking, but from games, from tech, from all over the place. Photography, documentary, music. And so it's sort of hacking how I had originally been working, and kind of, again, some of these frictions that are no longer there that like make me question, why was I doing it this way to begin with? I can do it in this new, smoother way. So it's been kind of a really fun melting pot of like different ways of thinking.
And when it comes to like for example, look development, do you have like a few tool that you really enjoy to use while during the process?
It's driven always by the story. So if I want to go an animated aesthetic or a photorealist aesthetic, that's where it comes from first. I like to doodle around in Midjourney to start, because I love the baseline that it gives me. And I also love to go, before I even do that, I love to go find references just on like Shot Deck or on the internet or from other movies, live action things, to try to figure out what, just the way I would do it on a music video or commercial or movie anyway, before AI was around. And then I'm able to use that in tandem with some of the things coming to my mind's eye in Midjourney as like style refs or things like that. I also, I love Free Pick. I love Kriya. I love the Free Pick especially. Is just a really fantastic suite. But I'm ultimately tool agnostic, because everything does, slightly different things. And then, as I mentioned, sync has been my most clutch lip sync tool. And even hearing a little bit about where it's going, I can see mocap in its future, and that's a really, really crucial piece of what I'm doing right now too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like you really touch on like all the tools. Like you really kind of just need to try them all, right? To figure out.
And that's the thing, is I feel like there's so much like intellectualism and theorizing going on at the AI right now. And the only way I learn is by doing and getting in the trenches, collaborating with other people. That's why I love the Gen Jams, because like you're not making your opus in 2 hours, but you are like learning how to communicate about it and seeing how other people do things. And it sort of feels like film school all over again, where I'm like, oh, these are the people that I'm in the trenches with, that I'm totally going to call on for these bigger projects, because I know how they think and they know how I think, and we can go forth. So it's just, it's all, AI has really brought me back to my childhood. It's just all a state of play and playing in a sandbox. And if I was 12 years old right now with the tools, I would be not getting any homework done. I would be only doing this. And it was already true with what I had at my disposal. But now it would be, I wouldn't be doing anything else.
Yes, truly. I really like what you said. Like, it feels like we can be a child again, to just release our imagination. Whatever we want to show, we can just type it out, or we can just give it a try. Yeah.
And that's just on the fully generative side of things, because what I think at the same time, what I'm really interested in too, especially moving forward and into the future, is how we do it in tandem with the live action stuff that I've been doing. Because working with real actors, like I'm working on a magical realism romance feature right now. I would like to use AI tools to maximize some of the world building I'm doing, but it's a romance, and I'm a really deep believer that in order to have that chemistry, connect with the people on the other side of the tube, that needs to be real. And so it's how do we use traditional visual effects workflows in tandem with AI techniques, in tandem with live action sets we've been on and actors, because I just think we're going to really find out that the more uncanny things get, that fine line of what makes us us and what is what we can get away with, I guess. I think that's going to be a really interesting experiment that humanity is playing with as we move forward. But there's just the other thing too is when I'm prompting, I'm playing God, and I'm like whatever's in my head, I'm able to make a performance happen. However, one of the beauties of working with the team, especially on set, is this happens to me every time. I'll have an idea of how I think the performance should go, but I'll never prescribe it. And I'll work with actors, and they'll give me something I never would have thought of that is so much better than what I would have thought of, and is lived in and honest and like nuanced. And I don't want to lose the beauty of that collaboration. And then to take it kind of full circle as far as the fundamentals that apply to AI. Early on, I was doing stuff with Sora in like December, November last year. And that was a really interesting experience because I was getting all these hallucinations. I did this piece when Sora came out called Dog People, which was just a bunch of like part humans, part dogs dancing around and doing different things, which people have done so much of since. But I got these weird mutations of like a person's face then turned into a dog's snout. I didn't prompt for it. It just happened. And it was once again a weird parallel where I'm like, oh, I didn't prompt for this, but this is so much better than what I was thinking. I'm going to work that into my edit. And so whether it's a human actor giving you something you weren't expecting, whether it's an artificial actor giving you something you weren't expecting, it's the same fundamental truth. It's just keeping an open mind and like capturing the magic.
Yeah, it is the surprise. They're not just errors. I always like they're just surprises that you will have. And it's always fun to experiment with them. And I really enjoy what you said. Like sometimes they just turn out way, way better than what you planned in your head. And I think that's also like the beauty of cinema. Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah. And also, I think nearly like a decade ago, you directed a short film, Watchroom, and that was about AI, right? Like, do you want to share with us a little bit about this?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think a lot of people in the AI, in like all of my AI friends, who are real people who use AI, just my AI friends know this about me. But so in 2015, my writing partner, Michael Kohler, and I embarked on this short film called Watchroom, where basically the film's about these three computer scientists who are testing AI within the safety of a virtual reality simulation, basically running these existential scenarios so that when they release the technology to the public, it's working for humanity and not against it. And at a certain point, they're like, we got to measure twice and cut once. So let's roll things back, start over. And the AI learns it's at risk of being shut down and sort of turns the table on its creators. So it kind of imagines this near future where AI, the fidelity of AI is equivalent to what we see with our human eye, and the intelligence itself is at least human intelligence, AGI. And so we wrote this in 2015. We did heavy research with some very leading AI scientists that I cannot say by name, but companies and scientists. And I kind of got a little bit of a glimpse into early LLMs and to like being able to manipulate a face to smile or frown or whatever. It blew my mind because I didn't know this was possible. So that when the movie came out 2018 or 2019, and it had actors like Mamadou Ati, it had Jacob Batalon from the Spider-Man movies, plays Ned Leeds, Alice Krummelberg and Natalie Paul, who are all tremendous actors. And we got to kind of play in this space. But then a lot of people, I think, wrote it off as a Black Mirror episode and are like, okay, this is really cool, but like, love science fiction. I was like, all right, fine. And then, post-pandemic rolls around, and it's been really interesting to see how the tools have proliferated and how everyone's adopted. And, the truth is stranger than fiction as far as how things are playing out. But I think my mind melted earlier, so it allowed me to sort of be very receptive to the tools as soon as they came out. I remember using an early Dolly tool to outpaint a baby photo of myself with a current photo of myself. So I was holding myself maybe like 3 or 4 years ago. And it's been cool to see then like Pika having a Pika swap where you can just do that. It's just because of course it's so intuitive. It's just so surreal to be able to play with time in that way.
Yeah, and it sounds like you are like one of the super early adopter when it comes to all this technology, right?
Just following your nose and following your instinct. You just never know when like dots connect. My movie about true love and a movie about AI were just parts of my brain that needed to, express themselves. And it's so strange how those things are coalescing now.
And I kind of want to circle back to one question, like because like you said, like magical realism, sci-fi, that's your gene. So when it comes to the hybrid workflow, when it has to combine with live action, now which part does the AI comes in that kind of help you the most?
Of course, it depends on what the final product's going to be. Absolutely in previs and look dev and things like that. Even if we're executing everything on set, it's before I would have to triangulate clips from other movies and commercials and like obscure music videos and whatnot. And now I can actually express what it is that I'm going for with a lot more specificity and precision. But then on top of that, the world building itself in the finished product, in tandem, again, it depends. If it's fully generative, then we can skip the whole step about live action. But if it's in tandem with live action, I'm able to maximize and iterate on what the world looks like and can be. So it's because I work in grounded genre is what I like to call it, whether it's magical realism or sci-fi or, playful comedy or some sort of weird genre blend. All of those things are a bit surreal in their way. It's a bit imaginative. And so it doesn't exist yet. And so AI is the perfect tool for it.
Yeah. And speaking of that, so what kind of advice do you have? One for the traditional filmmakers and the other one for all the new AI artists. What advice do you have for them? Because we do have a lot of participants right now in the chat for Chroma Awards. Yeah, I want to ask you about that.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm excited to see what everyone comes up with too, because I think things are evolving fast. But for the traditional filmmakers, I would say the same thing that I've done, which is just start playing and tap into your inner child. And I remember when I learned to edit, and I had a little bit of a steep learning curve because of the technicality of it. I actually would argue that a lot of the AI tools are way more intuitive than even editing was when I first learned to edit. So just get in there and play and stick to the principles that you already know as a storyteller are actually going to be an advantage. Because at the end of the day, I don't think audiences really care how something was made. They just care whether or not they felt something, were moved, enjoyed the story, escaped in some way. That's all that matters. And then for people who are just new to the whole space in general, you have a clean slate. So I think there's no way in which things have been done before. There are very few precedents, and we're all trailblazing, not just like we're trailblazing new forms of storytelling, we're trailblazing processes on how to get to that form of storytelling. I would even say this is super dry, but even the client creator relationship is being trailblazed because there's just a lot of, some people would call it disruption. I would call it just an evolution of like what the tools are able to do, because I think we all agree there's some new low-hanging fruit that we can all pluck that were not previously there. It's just a really exciting time to be a storyteller, no matter where you are on the spectrum of experience.
Yeah, I think one thing you touch on that also resonate with me is for the traditional filmmakers, because I think once, let's say you learn Avid or something, it feels like that tool can stick with you for maybe like 10 years or something. But now it's like a new tool coming and they can maybe stay with you for like a few weeks, and then later on there'll be something coming. So I think the mindset, we kind of need to shift that a little bit, right?
Yeah, it weirdly enough, I think like it gets the muscles kind of loose again in terms of being adaptive, because there are like obviously a bunch of major players that we all know making tools, and it's really fun because they're all in an arms race to make the best tool. And as a creator, I'm like, yeah, just give me all of it. I just want to make the best thing. But then there are new tools that come out of nowhere that solve problems you didn't know you had, or you're able to like talk one-on-one with the creators in order to create the tool that makes the best creation. And it just really, it keeps you loose in terms of your thinking, which I think is a really healthy thing.
Speaking of tools, how about we just sort of rattle off like quickly, what are you using right now in terms of image or for videos?
Yeah, I mean, the answer is all of them.
But
you
I
know,
think
and,
we could also just come in with some names, because I do believe in our audience there are probably really new people. They don't even know like which model,
sure,
which company.
Man, okay. In no particular order, because they're all useful for different things. Runway, Midjourney, Google, Minimax, Kling, Sync, Moon Valley, FreePick, Kriya, Foul, all of the comfy stuff, 11 Labs, Suno and Udio. Man, I'm sure I'm missing some too.
OpenArt, another great
OpenArt,
aggregator.
Higgsfield. Yeah, I actually have a browser open behind this that I use for all my AI stuff that is like 50 tabs deep that I'm just like clicking around. Oh, Sora. and all of the LLMs. I use all of these so heavily. That's what I'm saying. It's like I actually always hesitate to list off the ones I'm using for fear of forgetting one, because they're all so valuable to me as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
But there's cool tools like you mentioned FreePick. Like it's a great way to just try these different models out, because you could try Google VO, Seed Dream, Kling, Runway, all through FreePick.
Everything ByteDance is doing too. Really, really great.
Drumina
is an excellent tool. CapCut has been really awesome. Yeah.
So there you have it, chat. Now that's all the names. You can do
There's even more. There's like
and
I keep discovering new ones every day too.
All right, so we're about to wrapping up this conversation. Thank you, Noah, for joining us on this live stream. And also, I guess we're still here, Prati and Kauyan. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode. Okay, and before we go, we just want to remind you, next week on Monday, 7 p.m. and Wednesday, 12 p.m., we are doing another live stream. And also, as we speak, we do have in-person meetups happening right now. Like, let's say in Tokyo, Dreamina AI and CapCut and Chroma Worlds are hosting in-person meetups. And you can find all of our updates on chromaworlds.com. And thank you guys once again for being here with us. We really enjoy your company. I really enjoy everything you guys just shared with us. Thank you, guys. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, guys. Take care. And we'll see you very, very soon. All right.